All right, we're going to kick off just the setup for day December 20th. So we just finished the 19th. The only thing I did not do was advance my calendar token. All right, so on the next day, move our pieces from the reserve box down to the reserve units. So for the Germans, we have two pieces. This is a new core not yet on the board. And that would be another piece for the 560th Division. Allies has the 3rd Armored and a cavalry. We go ahead and bring the pieces for the 21st over, just so they're out there in case we need them for expedited. So we've got the 84th Division of the 7th Corps. And on the German, although none of these get expedited, we've got 2 more divisions of the 15 PG and a big division of the LX66V, 85th, perhaps. Okay. Oh, we also, since it was the 20th, today is the 20th. So after the end of today, we check on the victory point stuff. So we are right now sitting at 22. So it's unlikely we're going to be higher than 40. It's unlikely we'll be less than 11. Let's look at the other items for the day. The German supplemental cards that we add to the deck will be 8. Allied command level is 3, same as it was before. We'll add 2 cards to the Allied action deck. We end German movement restrictions. So now, for example, the German 6th can move below this line. They can move anywhere on the map. They still have to deploy in their army area, but they can now move anywhere. It's also the start of German fuel checks. It's the start of having replacement strength points. Okay, so we'll cover those as we need to. To the prep, we don't have any delayed pieces to deploy for the Germans. That would have meant we have pieces in here from the 18th. We don't. We've not yet moved next to the Meuse River, so we do not release the OKW. All right, so the German cards, we'll go, hopefully you know all the steps by now, but they will be, first off, it's the 20th. We're going to add 1 supplemental card. So that card is for the 20th. And this is, since we now have a L3, is that the 53rd Corps in the reserve box. So we'll have a card that could possibly deploy them. I will simply insert it randomly into the middle of the supplemental cards. I pre-shuffled that deck. We'll do it again real quick. Just because I added a card. And then the supplemental cards for this day was 8. So I'm going to draw 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those go back to the supplemental pile. Prior day's discards are now added to the supplemental. I pre-shuffled the primary cards that we discarded. Those would be added to the supplemental in the draw pile. I'll do a simple top, bottom, merge. and then I'll do a shuffle. And then we will draw our initial 6 cards. Okay, so that would be the draw pile. I draw 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a daily reveal, which I always like. 7th Army. 5th Army. That'll be to activate just 1 division. 6th. Okay. Again, that's just going to be to activate 1 piece. Another for the 6th. That's good. That's those red pieces. Another for the 5th Corps and 7th. Okay. So we've done steps 1 through 5. Prepare the Allied command deck. Add any reinforcement cards for this date. It is the 20th. That means we're going to add 4 more cards. Should be the top 4. 20th. 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 Okay. I shuffled yesterday's cards. So we're going to just kind of randomly put these 4, blend them into the deck. And then we'll give them a shuffle. So those are the cards that have been added because we now have 7th Corps in the reserve box and coming into play on the next day and beyond. Okay. Place them back in the draw pile. On the action deck, from the 19th to the 23rd, we're going to be adding 2 random cards. Again, these start adding offensive. I kind of pre-shuffled these. Stick 1 random there. Stick 1 at random in the middle of those. And now we'll give them a shuffle. Okay, place them. So that's the 2 prepare. Supply phase. It's not yet the 21st. Bridge engineers. First off, we don't have any bridge engineers unless I was to use this more powerful card for that. I do have a bridge that was blown. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to live with that for now. Because in terms of supply, this piece can do its supply. 1, 2, 3 hexes. It has reached a road, and then it can trace a road off the German edge of the map. So I'm not going to do anything about the bridge. Determine supply status of all German units. Let's start up at the top. So this stack, again, there's Allied zone of control. No, I'm sorry. That's an Axis piece. So he needs to reach a road hex within 4. So he can go 1, 2, 3. He could trace his supply. This guy, 1, 2, 3. This one, these can go this route. So, these two can both go 1. They're on a road. No allies are in the way of supply. So all of those German pieces are fine, fine, fine. Even this guy can trace 1, 2. He's back on a road. This road traces off the map. Okay. Same with him. So this one, which we sort of looked at a minute ago, he cannot use this road off because of the blown bridge. Can't go this way because roadblock. He can go his 4 hexes. 1, 2, 3. He has reached a road, which then can go off the map. Okay. The rest of these would, of course, also be okay. Now when we get down to these guys, let me put a bridge marker here because that was not blown. Last crossed by the Germans. Same with here. That bridge is intact. And that one's intact. So that's what these are for. I'd rather get some little markers like I have on the blown bridges. Get some markers that show a bridge is unblown. Okay. This guy is in supply because he crosses a bridge and away he goes. Now, keep in mind, this road cannot use that bridge because it's blown. That bridge is blown. So, if this allied piece were sitting here, that would cause a supply issue because that road would be going through an allied zone of control. So, these are okay. He obviously is okay. These are okay. As soon as you cross an unbridged river, you have to be on a road that's a supply line. That's fine. This one's fine. This piece, however, is out of supply because that hex is in Allied zone of control. Okay? So he needs a low supply marker. All right, low supply, to revisit that. If in combat, no combat tactic may be played for the unit. Okay, may not exit the map edge, and that's essentially it. So, if I were attacking with that piece, I could not play a combat tactic. He can still move and such. So we have an out of supply German piece. Now we go to the Allied supply. We'll start at the bottom of the map. He's fine. This piece is fine because he moved. We did that withdrawal under fire. He moved back. So his supply, he's allowed to go through a friendly unit. So that's 1. That's 2, 3. He's off the map. He's fine now. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's really the ones that seem to be surrounded. He's fine. He's fine. This one's fine because his route goes here first and then off the road. This one is now out of supply. He does not have a path because this hex and this hex are in German zones of control. So he's going to get a low supply marker. So if we attack him, he does not get the benefit of a combat tactic. And since he's surrounded, he's not going to get any sort of a reinforcement or deployed piece. So that becomes a candidate to go after, especially because it's a victory point. So he has no help coming. Something rang a bell. Yeah, we had a dispersed piece way back there. I just get that off the board. Okay, the dispersal indicator. Let me check these in case they had one. I don't think so. No, they did not. Okay, back to supply. He's okay, he's okay, he's okay. We checked them already. These are obviously all okay. Now, once we get up in here, these two stacks are now in low supply. They're basically surrounded. So we'll add low supply markers on both of them. So again, if we attack them, they at least don't get any combat tactics. They're still under an improved position. They're still strong. Yeah, that one's got one division in it. All right, so that's the supply. Okay, with 3 Allied are now in low supply and 1 German. Remove roadblock markers that are not in both German and Allied communication. This one is in German communication. It's also in Allied communication because it can trace a path like that off the map. That's also in both. So those roadblock markers remain. Out of fuel is now in play. Check your hand for cards indicating German formations out of fuel. I could then use fuel depots if available. I have 2 fuel depots that were successful. I need to check all my cards. Today is the 20th. So if the current date is on any of these, then that division or formation would be out of fuel. So none of these call for me to be out of fuel. Any given card I draw in the draw pile, we'll be looking at as we draw them, because they could have an out of fuel for the 20th. And at that point forward for the rest of the day, I have to make a choice. Do I want those pieces to be out of fuel, or I can use one of those to prevent that? Okay. So that's everything in getting ready for the first German impulse. So I'm going to stop here, pick this up later.